What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Keelan, your host of Kill the Credits, and today I'm giving you guys my review, spoiler-free, of Undertone. So I actually just got back from seeing Undertone. I was lucky enough to get a ticket to go see their Dolby Early Access film slot. Today is currently a Monday. It's supposed to come out Friday, Thursday, kind of. So got to see it a little bit earlier than what majority of people are going to go, or when majority of people are going to go see it. I think I'm really bad at picking movies that I'm going to be anticipating because, again, this was yet another film that I was not like super hyped for. I was not really looking forward to it. I did take note of the fact that it is an A24 film, and I historically do enjoy A24 horror films. So I was slightly hopeful there. I barely saw much of the trailer. I maybe watched the first 10 seconds. That might be why I wasn't overly anticipating it because I didn't really know too much about it. Nonetheless, I'm here to give you guys my thoughts. But before I get into that, I just want to ask everybody, if you haven't already, be sure to click the like button down below. If you haven't hit the subscribe button or ring the notification bell, be sure to do so as well. I don't upload as much as I would like to, but I'm trying to get back to the swing of things. Life is just crazy busy. Live streams on the way, more reviews on the way, more pre-recorded content on the way. With all of that out of the way, let me go ahead and get into my thoughts on Undertone. The host of a popular paranormal podcast, what a fucking mouthful that is. The host of a popular paranormal podcast becomes haunted by terrifying recordings mysteriously sent her way. That is the synopsis for Undertone. First thing that I'll say about this movie is that, and it's something that I truly appreciate, is how it attacks your auditory senses heavily. They do a really good job playing with different things, like there's ambient noise and then she puts her headphones on, silence, or just like maybe a buzz or a warm hum, and then you hear phone call tones, you hear her speaking with other people, and just different really cool sound effects, and just like the soundscape in this movie is just crazy. Like I don't know how else to explain it, but it really does attack your auditory senses, really makes you focus in on that, focus in on what you're hearing, which then lends itself to certain scares. Like you're really listening in on something and then something happens and it like scares the shit out of you because you're so focused on what you're listening to that you kind of weren't expecting it. Or even if you are anticipating it, you just can't help but be scared because you're just so locked in on what you're listening to. So that part is really cool. Again, I got to see it. I saw like the Dolby digital thing at AMC where I think like the audio is like the most pristine that you can get. And I sat like right in the center in like the DEF area. I believe that's like the space where they actually mix these movies for theaters. So like just hearing everything going on and the different audio being panned to the left, panned to the right, front and back, the stereo separation, the width. This movie sounds super good. So if you're somebody who really appreciates the details of that and the soundscape and just audio in general, you're going to really love Undertone for that reason specifically. Something else that I really enjoyed about this film is how isolated it feels. We follow this character named Evie. She's the podcaster, and we pretty much follow her not pretty much, we do just follow her the entire film. We get to see her mother physically, and then there's other characters that we get introduced to, that we hear her speak to, or she's listening to, but we never see them. That really lends itself to this isolated feeling, a very cold, bleak feeling. So I just thought that was really cool, especially when it comes to them like listening to the mysterious tapes and the way that they pan around her house as she's listening. Kind of gives you an idea of like possibly the people that are on these tapes could have lived in her house at one point, maybe. I don't really think that's a spoiler because it's not really clarified ever. It's kind of implied, and it's implied early on. So if that is a spoiler, I do apologize. I don't think it is though, but nonetheless, I thought that whole thing is really cool. Another thing that I really liked about Undertone is just how freaky it is. Not freaky like that. Slow down, you old dog, you. What I mean by freaky is creepy, how genuinely creepy this movie is. I don't remember the last film that gave me as many goosebumps as often as it gave me goosebumps as Undertone did. After leaving the theater, the first like 15 minutes afterwards, I could still feel the sensation of goosebumps and my hair standing up on my arms, the chill down my spine. All of those sensations were still there. I couldn't shake it. It was super weird, a really weird experience to have. Yeah, Undertone just does a great job getting under your skin, making your body have these very natural, visceral reactions to what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're trying to see, because there's a lot of really cool moments where they frame really dark doorways and you're trying to see, is something going to come out, is it not? They just do a really good job playing with all of these different creative ideas like that. And again, it was just genuinely creepy, genuinely scary. So I was highly impressed by that aspect of Undertone. I also really just want to say, I don't know the actress's name. I probably should have looked it up before this, but whoever plays Evie, she does a really good job. She's practically the only character that we follow. Again, we do get to see her mother, but her mother's kind of catatonic. So we really just get to see Evie, or the actress playing Evie, act. And she does a phenomenal job. The emotion that she displays just feels very genuine. So it really makes you like zone in and get sucked into the movie and her performance and everything. So kudos to her. She did a really good job. I think I mentioned it earlier, but again, this is an A24 film. So it is a creatively made film. It's very artsy. There's a lot of, angled shots. There's a lot of like moving the camera and you kind of have to tilt your head to even see what's going on. Very artsy in style, kind of the way that they frame things. Specifically, there's one shot, they kind of do it multiple times, but there's one shot that they use where Evie is not centered, she's more to the right side of the screen, but this dark doorway is centered and they slowly are zooming in on it, or it's just like a flat static shot where the doorway is just centered, but really we're supposed to be focusing on Evie, but this doorway is centered and the background is blurred, so the doorway is blurred. But you just never know, us horror fans, we are accustomed to things like that happening and then something popping out at you, or something slowly creeping its way out, or something running out of the doorway out of nowhere just unexpectedly. And they really fuck with you using those sort of shots, and I really like that. It really did keep me on the edge of my seat the entire time. The movie got audibles out of me. Like I said, it got goosebumps going on my arms, chills. Like I still feel like I kind of can feel that sensation on my arms. I really don't like it. Maybe it's cold in here, or maybe the demon from Undertone followed me home. I hope not. Now to just talk about the one thing that I really didn't like, or I'm kind of not too sure. Maybe I'm a little more in the middle, and it's the ending. I'm not going to give details, of course, because this is supposed to be spoiler free, but I just want to say the ending, I don't think it's sitting right with me. I don't feel like they really explained enough. There is a bunch of things that are implied, and I do like that. I don't need everything given to me. I don't need everything explained, right? I kind of feel like it suffered from what a lot of horror films suffer from now, is like they have this amazing buildup, they flesh out the story, and it's coming to the climax and into the resolution, and you're like, okay, what's it going to be? What is all of this culminating to? And then the ending happens, and you're kind of just sat there like, they couldn't figure out how to end the movie. Unfortunately, that is the kind of the feeling that I got by the end of Undertone. That could also be that I'm an idiot and that I'm just not picking up on what they're putting down. And if that's the case, then y'all let me know down in the comments that I'm a fucking idiot and that I'm just not catching on to the nuances. Historically, I am somebody who does probably need multiple watches to start to pick up on these deeper nuances and meanings, so that could likely be the case. But just off my first experience, my first viewing, I really felt like they were building up to something, and I was hoping for like a really crazy climax, and then it just didn't happen. And we're kind of just left wondering, which I can kind of get with that, but I just wish we got a couple more answers. So the ending kind of, in a way, did ruin my experience just a little bit, but I will say overall, still really enjoyed this film. Undertone is genuinely creepy. It gets a lot of things right, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I don't think this is going to be a movie that is very divisive. I think people are, for the most part, are just going to really enjoy it. So I'm excited to see what other people have to say about it. And if you were undecided about whether you were going to go to the theater to see this or not, I do suggest you go and see it. I definitely think it's worth it, especially if you can get into a viewing for, like I said, the Dolby Digital AMC thing. I don't know. Like, they have so many different options, but whatever the one with the best audio surround sound in the theater you can get, go to that one. It probably will amplify your experience. If I had to give this a rating, I'm sitting at like a 3.75 out of 5, maybe a 4. The ending kind of shit the bed at the end. So I'm somewhere in that space right there, but still a really good time. Genuinely very freaky, very scary movie. If I can leave you with one last thought, because I did write this in my notes as I was watching, it kind of felt like I was watching somebody listen to the first Paranormal Activity film. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I do think that's pretty funny, because once you go and see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I digress. I'm going to leave my review there. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like on the video, comment down below, let me know what kind of movies you want to see me review next. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you never miss any of my new uploads. Be sure to keep an eye out for some live streams. I do believe I'm going to do a spoiler live discussion of Undertone in probably about a week or so, and I might have 2 guests on with me to do that so we can have a conversation. So stay tuned for that. As always, be safe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.